Welcome to a special edition of the Section 247 podcast, something we're going to be doing a little bit more during the football season. It is the Philadelphia Eagles, I guess we'll call it a pregame show, a preview show that will be found exclusively on our YouTube channel, which we'll put the link out there on our Twitter, at SEC247POD, and also exclusively found on sportstalkphilly.com. I am Michael Lipinski. I am joined, as always, by Michael Watkins, and we are going to preview this Thursday night contest, Eagles, Packers, Lambeau Field. Michael, is there any chance?
There is a chance. There's always a chance. I mean, any given Sunday, right? I mean, that's what we're supposed to be looking at here.
The problem is we're playing on Thursday. I'm not.
Yeah, you know what I mean here. Hey, look, I was just had a terrible attitude during the whole recording because this was the first time that the Eagles' losses just piled up, and I was pissed. I was pissed off, but this is when we can regroup and we can move forward here. You know how you can regroup and move forward? By getting a win. You know how you get a win? You sack the quarterback. Aaron Rodgers is not mobile. You can get him, put him down the ground, and do it repeatedly.
All right, let's start there. All right, so keys to Eagles' victory here. We're going to kind of do this like our pluses and minuses on the regular show, Section 247 podcast, found wherever you can find podcasts. Pluses, minuses, well, we're going to go keys to the game. 3 keys to the Eagles' defense defeating the Green Bay Packers. So, pressure, right?
Pressure, turnovers, and points.
I agree. I agree wholeheartedly, and they all kind of flow with each other, right?
Exactly.
This Eagles team needs to create pressure, which will force the turnovers, and you never know what's going to happen. Aaron Rodgers, great quarterback, but he can potentially just throw a ball up in the air, a la Brett Favre, and the points are there. The Eagles need to score defensively. They need to help out the offense. Something's got to change here, though. I mean, it's bad. It's really, really bad right now, the Eagles' defense.
And the Eagles' defense did not play bad against Detroit. Let's not get that, misconstrued here.
Yeah, no, they're not playing poorly.
No, they're playing a bend. They're playing a bend, but don't break defense. They're only giving up field goals.
Yeah, but they're leaking like a sieve. They're letting plays go. They're giving up too many big plays.
Right, and then they get to the inside the red zone. They've been stopping them. I think Detroit only scored 2 touchdowns, right, yesterday. On Sunday?
Well, yeah, so they only scored, they had the return. He had 2 touchdowns, yeah. That sounds right.
Mm-hmm.
But again, no pressure on the quarterback. Matthew Stafford was able to sit back there in the pocket and do whatever he wanted. He was playing a game of chess, took out his iPhone, was tweeting stuff. Helped me out with my fantasy team, but that's not what this is about.
I think I saw him playing Candy Crush there for a second.
Is that still a thing?
I have no idea.
What are the kids playing now? I mean, we talk Fortnite all the time on the podcast.
I don't know. When it comes to mobile games, I don't play mobile games because I just don't play mobile games.
Yeah, I don't play mobile games either. I'm just usually on the Rutgers Facebook page, and
I play Solitaire as a mobile game.
That was a great.
When I'm on a plane, I play Solitaire.
Anyway, back on topic here. The Eagles definitely need to get something needs to spark this defense, particularly this defensive line. You have Carson Wentz with more tackles than key contributors. That's a problem.
Yeah, more tackles, batted balls. I mean, this guy's going to be all NFL Pro Bowl, one of the secondary player.
Oh, you're joking on the Twitter machine that Carson has to do everything. I always went back to those Mr. Perfect vignettes when he was throwing the ball to himself. And that's what Carson Wentz needs to do, and it was kind of seemed that way.
Yeah. Keep going.
Is it a depth issue here defensively? I mean,
yes, 100%.
Is it? We talked about it on the previous episode on Tuesday that there was an who were some of the guys that the Eagles have overvalued, and I mentioned the defensive ends, Brandon Graham, I guess Vinny Curry to some extent. These guys need to show up.
You can't overvalue Vinny Curry because he signed really late
I know.
in the offseason because they couldn't find anybody else, so they got him back, which is great because he knows the system and he's a good player. But you're right, they're overvalued Brandon Graham. You also said that. Is Derek Barnett overvalued? I mean,
it's hard to say at this point. Again, is the guy healthy? I don't know that the guy's healthy.
I did see him running down the field to catch running backs on Sunday, where secondary players were nowhere around, but he was running at the running back.
And that could have been one of.
Now, of course, the guy ran by him the first time, so he had no choice but to get off his ass and run down the field.
Yeah, and I don't know. This Packers team isn't lighting the world on fire. The problem is that the Eagles have nobody right now in the secondary. Nobody, literally nobody.
Except for Malcolm Jenkins.
Last year they had nobody, and now they don't have anybody.
Well, the thing is that the nobody that they had last year became somebodies, and now they're playing in the defense.
But they're not. Cravon LeBlanc is hurt. Jalen Mills hurt. Darby, he's out.
When is Jalen Mills coming back?
I don't know. We have a better chance of getting Izell Jenkins out of retirement at this point.
Rasul Douglas didn't play all that bad on Sunday.
Sidney Jones, I saw a lot of the back of his jersey chasing.
He's hit or miss.
Yeah. The problem is if you're on, you have to be on. You have to play a perfect game defensively against Aaron Rodgers, or he's going to tear you apart.
Yep.
All right, let's move on to it. Let's move on to the offense. Some keys to the game offensively. And for anybody who has listened to us for any length of time, I think they're going to know what our 3 keys to the game are. But hey, give me yours.
All right. So, and I apologize in advance to everybody listening to this right now that has listened to our show for the past 3 weeks, but it's running the ball, faster start, and catching the ball.
Pretty basic things.
Yeah.
And it's all going. I mean, it's one of those things where it's like, yeah, idiots. Yeah, you gotta run the ball, you gotta catch the ball, and you gotta start quick. But it's not that simple for this Eagles team. They had a little bit of a faster start against Detroit, 10 points in the first quarter. Which, look, hey, if you score 10 points every quarter, you're putting up 40 points in a game. That's pretty good. Mocking it a little bit. The Eagles have to come up with a solution here to start these games. They have to look at their scripted plays and put Carson Wentz and company in a position to win the game. And I agree with you wholeheartedly. This is putting the ball in the running back's hands right now, especially with the limited weapons that Carson Wentz has. Alshon Jeffrey, by all accounts, is going to be back. If he's back, is he 100% healthy? I don't know. Probably not. So can you really factor him in? Maybe a little bit. Maybe he's out there like a decoy. So if you have
I honestly would sit both of those guys this game again, and then with having a almost 2 weeks off, bring them back then, and it's time to play.
Yeah, I would agree with you, especially at this point. If you can go out and win with what you have, maybe this is where Doug Peterson has to get a little bit more creative with the running backs and the weapons he has. Why can't you have Miles Sanders and Jordan Howard and Darren Sproles on the field at the same time in different positions? You can.
I don't want them on the field at the same time. I want Jordan Howard in the backfield getting the ball. That's it.
He needs to have a 20 carry, punch him in the mouth type game.
Yeah. I mean, he's averaging 5 yards a carry. How are you not giving him this guy? How are you not giving the guy the ball more?
It doesn't make sense. The whole scenario doesn't make sense. If you give him the ball 20 times a game, you let Carson Wentz throw it a little bit less, go back to a more traditional West Coast system, tight end, one receiver. It's been the keys to success for a lot of teams for a long, long time. I imagine it's going to work for the Eagles. We've said it before. I remember saying it when the Eagles were playing the Falcons. What's the key to beating Atlanta? It's keeping Atlanta's offense off the field, and that's by running the football. That's by dominating the clock. They're going to need to do that again here on Thursday, especially in the hostile environment that is Lambeau. Nice people out there, very nice people out there, but it's still a tough place to go play football.
And the thing is, and it's one of the best places to play a game. Why not win? It's national TV. It's Lambeau Field. You're on the road. You really want to show everybody that you are who you thought you are. win on national TV in Lambeau on Thursday night.
Yeah, absolutely. It's imperative. It's almost imperative. It's almost a must-win for this team. Because if they lose again, that's 3 losses. That's not the end of the world.
No, it's not the end of the world, but it's a big uphill climb.
The problem is it's 3 conference losses. So now you're looking at tiebreakers, and this is a team that a lot of people were picking to go to the Super Bowl. I picked them to go to the Super Bowl. Maybe I overvalued what the Eagles were. But if the Eagles want to have any chance at a first-round bye, they need to win this game. Simple as that.
Well, we're a long way from first-round bye there, brother. Let's try to get 3 wins. Let's try to get 500.
I think they'll be okay. The path is through the division. But Carson Wentz, we touched on it on the big show. Carson Wentz is playing out of his mind. There was a statistic, I believe it was Elliott Shore Parks put out, that Carson Wentz is playing better this year than he did in 2017.
How's that even possible?
It doesn't seem like it, does it?
But I mean, he's playing really well. He's played really well. He's put the team on his back now, pretty much every week so far this season. I wish he didn't have to put him on his back as much as he does. It's 2017. It seems like we just were on cruise control the whole season.
Well, hopefully they figure out the formula and go on cruise control. All right, prediction time. We're going to wrap it up. I told you this is going to be a little bit shorter, obviously, than our normal shows. Prediction time, Thursday night, prime time, on, I guess it's Fox, NFL Network, Amazon, your phone, streaming illegally on Reddit. Yeah. What's your gut tell you? Eagles are going to go. Are the Eagles going to go in there and win this thing?
17-10.
17-10. Oh, and they cover too, because right now they're a 4-point dog, which I actually, you factor in the 3 points, is pretty good. I think the Eagles win this thing. I think we're looking at a 21-20 type game. And you know what? Just for shits and giggles, to shut people up, the Eagles are down 20-14 with about 2 minutes to go. And you know who takes them down the field and scores? Carson freaking Wentz. MVP quarterback, people.
I hope so.
I hope so, too. So anyway, if not, you can tell us we're wrong. And we'll talk about it. We'll talk about it after the game. We might be back on Friday for a post-game show. Maybe, maybe not. We got to figure out how drunk we get on Thursday.
Yeah, depends on how hungover I am.
Yeah, so that's it. That's all we got. That's our Eagles preview show. You can look forward to these every week. We're going to be putting them out exclusively on our YouTube channel, where you should subscribe. It is where we will put other content. And on sportstalkphilly.com, at sportstalkphilly.com, and on Twitter at sportstalkphl. The show at SEC247POD on Twitter and Instagram. And we will talk to you for the big show next week. And in the meantime, hey, go Birds.